how to improve your listening skills. I'm Alex, and today I want to share a personal story with you about how I improved my listening skills in English. If you've ever struggled to understand native speakers, or if you feel like people are talking too fast, this episode is for you. I've been there, and I want to tell you how I got better. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive in. A few years ago, I was living in my home country, and I thought my English was pretty good. I could read, write, and even speak a little. But then I got a job opportunity in an English-speaking country. I was thrilled. I thought, this is my chance to become fluent. But when I arrived, reality hit me hard. People spoke so fast, and they used words I didn't know. I remember my first day at work. My boss gave me instructions, and I just nodded and smiled, pretending I understood. But inside, I was panicking. I didn't want to ask him to repeat himself because I was embarrassed. That night, I went home feeling defeated. I thought, how am I ever going to survive here if I can't even understand what people are saying? But over time, I found a few strategies that really helped me. Let me share them with you. Tip 1. Start with slow audio. The first thing I did was look for slow audio. I found a website that had news stories read slowly and clearly. At first, I listened to the same story over and over again. I focused on understanding the main idea. Then, I listened for specific words and phrases. This was a game changer for me. By starting with slow audio, I built my confidence. I wasn't overwhelmed by the speed, and I could focus on learning new vocabulary. Tip 2. Watch TV shows with subtitles. Next, I started watching TV shows in English. At first, I used subtitles in my native language, but I quickly realized that wasn't helping me much. So, I switched to English subtitles. This was a big step. I could hear the words and see them at the same time. It helped me connect the sounds to the spelling. I also noticed how native speakers use contractions, like don't instead of do not. My favorite show was a sitcom because the episodes were short and funny. I didn't feel pressured to understand everything. I just enjoyed the process. Tip 3. Practice active listening. One day, a friend told me about active listening. She said, don't just hear the words, try to understand the meaning. So I started practicing this. For example, when I listened to a podcast, I would pause after a few minutes and ask myself, what did they just say? Can I summarize it? If I didn't understand, I would go back and listen again. This technique helped me focus and retain more information. It also made me realize that I didn't need to understand every single word to get the main idea. Tip 4. Talk to native speakers. I know this can be scary, but it's so important. I started by talking to my coworkers during lunch breaks. At first I was nervous, but they were very patient. They slowed down their speech and used simple words. Over time, I got more comfortable. I even started joining group conversations. I didn't always understand everything, but I learned to ask questions like, "Can you repeat that?" Or, "What does that word mean?" Tip 5. Be consistent. The most important thing I learned was to be consistent. I made listening practice a part of my daily routine. Every morning, I listened to a short podcast while having breakfast. In the evening, I watched an episode of my favorite show. At first, I didn't notice much progress, but after a few months, I realized I could understand more and more. It was like my brain had adjusted to the speed and rhythm of English. Fast forward to today, and I'm proud of how far I've come. I can now understand most of what people say, even in fast conversations. I still encounter new words and phrases. If you're struggling with listening, don't give up. Start small, be patient, and celebrate your progress. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about improvement. And if you ever feel discouraged, think about my story. If I can do it, so can you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. See you soon.